So, but there's so much in this book that I could read to you. I just want to read something real quick. I don't even know where to start, man. I got a lot of shit that I highlighting, but let me just read this right here. It says, man, if I start right here, I feel like it says, I feel like they are messing with my heart's rhythm. Is there any defense against it? Now in this book right here, they have questions. They have questions, as you can see. They have questions, and they here have an answer. This is his answer. You know what I'm saying? So he asks a question all throughout the book. He had questions, then he have an answer. So he says, I feel like they are messing with my heart's rhythm. Is there any defense against it? It says that the technology can increase blood pressure and cause arrhythmias. I believe that's how you pronounce that word. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. By training the heart to beat improperly. Now, you see this shit right here, though? This is the technology that they have. The technology can increase blood pressure and train the heart to beat improperly. These are common methods at the beginning of the torture and probably and probability of kill programs. Beginning of torture and probability of kill programs. Strokes can also be introduced in this fashion. Some defenses TIs have written about is during an intense attack where it says some defenses TIs have written about is during an intense attack where thick leather jackets. That's what they recommend. If you feel as though you're being attacked, put on a thick leather jacket. Go outside in 90-degree weather with a thick leather jacket. It says this seems to absorb some of the radar energy. Other practical advice would be to keep some beta blockers on hand. This stops the brain from being able to increase your heart rate. You hear that? This stops the brain from being able to increase your heart rate. Since this is mind control, they use the release of hormones triggered by certain brain pathways to increase the heart into a runaway panic. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? I'm going to read that one more time. It says other practical advice would be to keep some beta blockers on hand. I don't have no beta blockers. You don't have to Google that. This stops the brain from being able to increase your heart rate because your brain, the brain controls everything. Remember that. Since this is mind control, y'all. Because what they do is they fuck with your mind, and they can give you panic attacks. You know what I'm saying? They could trigger all types of shit. So you gotta control your mind. Don't let them control it. Since this is mind control, they use the release of hormones triggered by certain brain pathways to increase the heart into a runaway panic. Amazingly, hypnotic distractions such as clapping or plucking the ears can snap the brain entrainments out of track with temporary beneficial results. What does that tell you about the mental technique being used? Neurofeedback and biofeedback has helped others. So what they're saying right here, if you feel as though you're going on a panic attack or whatever, try to distract yourself. It says amazingly hypnotic distractions such as clapping or plucking the ears can snap the brain entrainments out of track with temporary beneficial results. You know what I'm saying? I suffered. I had this was years ago in the beginning of my my targeting. They had, I was smoking weed and I was drinking some Tellus Port, and I ain't gonna lie, I was bent, yo. And they triggered my heart rate, and I went under a panic attack. I jumped in a fucking cold ass shower, fully dressed, yo. No bullshit. That shit was no joke. You know what I mean? And speaking of that was like my first time hearing V2K, because I don't even think the person that said what he said I don't even think they was allowed. I don't even think I was meant to hear that. I think it was by mistake. I'm not sure. But the person, when I went on the panic attack, everything shook. My hands started shaking. And it's just like, it seemed like it started from my feet all the way up. And everything just went out of whack and crazy. And in my left ear, I heard got him, anxiety attack. I heard that, no bullshit. And that was my first time experiencing V2K. You know what I'm saying? I heard a voice say, I got him, it's an anxiety attack. So the shit is real. And like I said, I'm not just reading from a book. I'm talking about experience. I'm just reading this because I can relate to it. I can vouch for this shit. I can tell you that, and he know what he's talking about. And he's the inventor. This motherfucker was the one that he had his hands in the making of this shit. So anyway, let me keep going. It says, can I do anything blocking synthetic telepathy, V2K? It said it depends on the stage of the target's brain's adaptation to synthetic auditory signals. I'll read that again. It depends on the stage of the target brain's adaptation to synthetic auditory signals. Remember, I want y'all to know, start listening to some binaural beats. Some binaural beats, what's the other word? Solfeggio, isochronic, all those tones, man. What's his name? Dr. Virtual. Matter of fact, I got a paper I want to read from him too. Hold on, I'm gonna get that. Hold on. I got it right there. I'm gonna read it to you in a minute. But yeah, listen to some binaural beats, y'all. It says whatever. Yeah, it depends on the stage of the target's brain's adaptation to the synthetic auditory signals. Many studies show that an overactive vagus nerve can cause auditory response like tinnitus. You see that? Many studies show that an overactive vagus nerve, this is in the brain, can cause auditory responses like tinnitus and psychotic symptoms. Some research has shown that electrical stimulation at the right current can quell some of the effects of synthetic telepathy and tinnitus. Is that quill or qual, whatever? Moving on. So if y'all experiencing the tinnitus, yeah, it's the technology, the tinnitus and everything, and all the V2K and well, I guess the tinnitus. They say the tinnitus is like this. It's stages. They're trying to. If you're going through the tinnitus right now, they're trying to get you to the stage of V2K. I mean, I guess it's like the ringing in your ears. I'm trying to tell you, I've been hearing people talk about the ringing in the ears. I'm trying to reach out to these people and tell them what's going on. People talking about, oh, it's your ancestors, it's spiritual guides. Man, fuck out of here, man. This is technology. This is mind control. Ain't got nothing to do with no ancestors trying to holler at you. Ain't got nothing to do with no, if anything, it's the ETs trying to holler at your ass. That's what it is. The program usually involves, in this way, with TIs who develop synthetic telepathy. First, it starts off as far away voices and white noise from anything that makes noise or sounds like voices from neighbors and apartments next door. So he's saying that that's the beginning phase of it. Then it evolves into perfect voices as clear as a mobile phone. Then as true synthetic telepathy. There are examples. It says there are examples where this evolution is not true, and reverse, there appears to be several technologies or algorithms working. Why is this? It appears that the technology must piggyback neural signals. The technology must piggyback neural signals at first. Both pitch and direction is heard, and then over time it becomes a whisper in the mind. The idea of synthetic telepathy is that one cannot distinguish his own eternal voice and thoughts from those injected. So you having thoughts in your mind and you talking to yourself in your head, you don't even know if that's really you talking to yourself or if that's them. Ain't that some shit? So you got to question your own fucking self. So if you having any type of negative thoughts, if you're thinking about some shit that you know you don't usually think about, you got to question that. You're like, where the fuck that come from? Because we all had crazy thoughts. If you think about Krispy Kreme donuts and stuff, you gotta see, these are all signs that we've been programmed. We got to, cause everybody been programmed. You talk to the average person don't want to think that they've been programmed. They think that they do their own thing. You know, I do my own thing. I no, you don't. You're programmed. Everybody's programmed. Either you're going to program yourself or they're going to do it. It's Friday today. So people are programmed to do what? They get their checks. They going to work. I mean, when they get off from work, they're going straight to the liquor store, the state store. They're going to buy some Hennessy. They're going to get some weed. They're programmed to do it. It's party time. Even though everything's still on lockdown, kind of. But there's a bunch of face mask bandits out there. But it's still party time. You're programmed to do that. You're programmed to go ahead and spend all your money up. You're programmed to eat junk food. You're programmed to watch bullshit on TV. You're programmed to listen to bullshit. Listen, if you listen to Power 99, you are programmed. You are 100% programmed. Whatever state y'all in, whatever. Cause look, whatever radio station that they play on the radio, I haven't listened to the radio in so long. I just looked at the clock right there and said 444. I tell you, that's amazing. I mean, not the clock. It was the time on my, because I'm recording this, and I just glanced at the time that I'm recording. It said 444. But anyway, whatever state you're at, if whatever radio station, if they're playing the latest so-called hot music, and you listen to that garbage, you have been programmed. Let me move right on along. Let me move on. Okay. It says it appears that the technology must piggyback neural signals. Both pitch and direction is heard, and then over time it becomes a whisper in the mind. The idea of synthetic telepathy is that one cannot distinguish his or her own internal voice and thoughts from those injected. This is some crazy shit. All right. Separating synthetic telepathy and mind control is difficult. It is so sophisticated. It is a sophisticated set of technologies and tactics. Let's discuss a few of the known technologies and a couple of lesser known ones. Most researchers claim that the microwave hearing effect is the technology behind synthetic telepathy. You damn right. Most researchers claim that the microwave hearing effect is the voices. I keep losing my place because I'm trying to show y'all. Let me just researchers claim that the microwave hearing effect is the technology behind the synthetic telepathy. And what I just told y'all, I told you that they're beaming the frequency through the ear canal. That's how they get in. They get in. That's the doorway. The doorway is through your ears. Hold on. Yeah. I had to put my other plug in. I felt the frequency just by me talking about it. So it says the microwave hearing effect is the technology behind the synthetic telepathy. So that's why they're doing it. That's why they're beaming your ears, because they're trying to tap into you. And before you know it, if you don't stop it, you're going to